This is a pool table. It has 6 pockets and it's twice as long as it is wide. There are 15 colored and numbered balls and 1 cue ball. Generally, the goal of any game in pool is to pocket an object ball by striking it with the cue ball, which is struck by a cue stick. A cue stick is typically 57 to 59 inches and typically weighs between 17 to 20 ounces. If you have to pick out a cue at a bar, first look for one that has a decent tip shaped between a diamond and nickel's diameter, and then find one that is straight. Now it's time to play, but first you'll need to know how to hold the cue. Catch this. That's pretty much how you'll want to hold the cue. Not too tight and not too light. Thumb pointed down, arm and wrist in a straight line, perpendicular to the ground. Rest the cue on a bridge that you form with your hand. Thumb against your pointer finger and the cue rests in the V shape that is formed. Or make a circle with the 2 fingers, press it against your middle finger, and the cue goes through the top hole. Spread your fingers out for stability and bend your knuckles to lift the bridge up and down. Place the bridge 8 to 10 inches away from the cue ball. The line that you want the cue ball to travel down is the shot line. You'll build your entire stance and setup around this single line. The tip of your shooting foot should be right at the shot line, pointed anywhere from 45 to 90 degrees. Spread your feet out at least 1 shoulder's width apart and place your other foot at least 1 foot's distance away from, but parallel to the shot line. Once you get down, the bridge, cue, entire shooting arm, tip of your shooting foot, and center of vision should all be on the shot line. Make sure the cue is as level as possible. You shouldn't be more than an inch away from the rail on the majority of shots. Take a few practice strokes, don't jerk the cue, and keep it on the shot line the entire time. Stop and check your alignment, pull back, slow transition into your forward swing, smoothly accelerate forward through the cue ball, and stay down on your shot until the cue ball is long gone. You can now shoot the cue ball in a straight line, but where should you shoot it to? Probably not into the pocket like I just did, because that would be a scratch, which is a foul, and typically gives your opponent ball in hand, allowing them to place the cue ball anywhere, and if you're playing against a great player, that's GG. We need to pocket this 1 ball in that corner, but where should we aim the cue ball? Imagine a line drawn through the center of the object ball to the center of the pocket. Imagine a ball placed directly on that line frozen to the 1 ball. Now from anywhere on the table, whether the cue ball is here, or here, just aim at the center of that imaginary ball and you can pocket the 1 ball. This is called the ghost ball method and is the most common method for teaching new players how to aim. The ghost ball method, however, isn't perfect because there's this thing called throw, and it'll be up to you to practice and get a feel for the amount of throw each shot will have and then adjust for it. Now you can make the 1 ball, but how do you make the 2 ball after that? Well, it would be nice if we could get the cue ball closer to the 2 ball so that it would make the shot easier. To do this, we need to learn how to control the cue ball's path after it strikes the object ball. We do this by changing how hard and where we strike the cue ball. Hit low on the cue ball to make it draw back, hit high to make it follow, and hit slightly below center to make it stop. If you have an angle on your shot, the cue ball will travel down the tangent line after it strikes the object ball. The tangent line is perpendicular to the aiming line and starts at the center of the cue ball at contact with the object ball. It starts off on that path and will stay on it unless the cue ball has top or bottom spin. Top pushes the cue ball in front of the tangent line, and bottom draws it back away from the tangent line. The final way to control the cue ball is by striking it off center with left or right. This applies a spin to the cue ball that will affect it after it strikes a rail. Next up is banks and kicks. A general rule of thumb for these shots is that at medium speed with no spin, a ball will bounce off a rail at about the same angle that it came into the rail at. All you have to do is divide the distance between the intended target and aim for the halfway point. If you would like to dive deeper into any of the topics that we discussed or the many topics that we didn't have time for, download the World of Pool and Billiards app. It offers free lessons that dive much deeper into everything you need to know to become a great pool player. And if you enjoyed this video, the next time the like button is shooting an important 8 ball, ask them where they called it right as they're about to shoot, even if they already called the pocket. And that'll do it for today. See ya.